Hey there, good morning. So, yesterday we were focused on enthusiasm and the power of enthusiasm and all that great stuff, and like being enthusiastic like a small child on Christmas morning. So, today we're going to focus on the reverse effect of that and the things that can prevent us from having enthusiasm, joy, happiness, all that good stuff, because it's easy to tell you to focus on joy, happiness, pleasure, enthusiasm. But the fact of the matter is that it's not always that easy to do that in our own lives. So today we're going to discuss that the monster is real. And so every good tale has to have a good guy and a bad guy, and we're going to talk about the bad guy today, so that you can help overcome the bad guy, overcome that monster in your life. I am going to ask that as you come on, please go ahead, let me know that you're there. Feel free to make comments, ask questions as we go through. The communication is much appreciated. If for some reason, if I am cutting out, I guess yesterday I was cutting out a lot, and I didn't hear about it until hours later. So, let me know those different things. So maybe it's where I'm sitting, maybe it's my internet, I don't know. Maybe it's just the weather. Maybe it's that spirit doesn't want me to say some of the things I'm saying. I have no idea. Maybe it's the monster. So, um, so, and also, I guess I should say, I really would appreciate anybody listening to this to go ahead and share it if you possibly can. Good morning, Addison. To share it if you possibly feel like it has touched you in some way, to help me build the following, to help get messages out there, and really just share consciousness first thing in the morning and on our pages and in this Christmas season. So if you would share it, I would really appreciate that. Um, and as always, remember that you can send me, if you're not comfortable making a statement, comment, asking a question here on the live segment, go ahead and pop me a message in private text, call me, whatever you have for contact information, that works. So, monsters, big, bad, oogly googly monsters that hide in our closets, under our beds, they really do exist. They do, and I am not talking actually about, big, hairy, nasty monsters. This is not some Pixar movie here. I was trying to make us scream. But the monster that I'm referring to is the monster that gets every single one of us in so many different ways, and we're not aware of it. Even when it's happening, we don't even recognize it as a monster. So this monster is far scarier than anything that any horror movie could ever come up with. It's far scarier than any book could ever share with you. It's far scarier than anything that you could ever imagine, than any, creation in your mind about spooky, scary monsters. So this monster can change form without even, anything applied to it. It'll quickly shift. This monster brings fear into your life, fills you full of anxiety and stress and worry and concern. It has you in doubt when you shouldn't be in doubt. This monster puts a sad face on you when you had a happy face just moments before and you have no reason for it. This monster makes you feel like shit within no time at all, and sometimes at moments that you have no idea where this feeling came from. This monster steals. It is the thief of everything that you want, the thief of your desires, and it will do it in the good name of protecting you. So, what is this monster? This monster is, yes, I've talked about it before, otherwise known as the ego. I talked about, finding Satan in your life last week, I believe. And, if you want to call it Satan, that's fine. I found a cute little, satanic looking thing to post up there in the title today. But I think that Satan is a great name for it, but we're going to call it the monster today. And the monster today, you know, is really just what does this monster do? How do we overcome these things like fear, anxiety, doubt? And that's really what it is. I mean, anytime you have, there's only two main emotions, okay? Everything that we feel, that we experience, comes back to these two emotions. And the emotions are love and fear, okay? So you can think of them as twins in a way, because they are two sides of the same coin. We all have them, and we all experience them moment to moment in every single one of our days throughout our life, and in so many different ways. And you know, the thing about the monster is that you have to have the realization that the monster is real, because if you run around and you deny that this monster is there, and you just focus in on love, and you just focus in on happiness, and you constantly walk around like this, ignoring the fact the monster is there, that monster is going to grow so damn big, and it is going to just take over your world and get you. It will get you when you least expect it. And you have to apply the focus on the love, you have to apply the focus on your joy, but you have to have the consciousness, the awareness that this evil does exist. And it doesn't exist anywhere outside of you. It doesn't exist anywhere outside of you. This monster that I'm referring to exists right here, okay? Right here. And it affects you tremendously. It is the culprit of the reason why you don't have what you want right now, today, because you are a powerful manifester. You are a powerful creator. You are a child of God that can have, be, or do anything that you want to do, anything that you want to have, anything that you want to be. You do not have to have a better education. You do not have to, change your location. You don't have to change any of your scenario. You can have, be, or do anything that you want, that you desire, if you focus in on pleasure, feeling good. And it's not, it really is, it's about feeling good. And this monster comes and it steals your feel good. It steals your feel good, and sometimes it does it in a very logical, very, very logical, smart way. It is there to support you. It's that logical thought that has you thinking, oh, well, I really should do this, or I really shouldn't do that, or maybe that's a crazy idea. Now, granted, some of those things, yes. Some of those things we should not just go do crazy things. And here's where there's a sticky point here, right? Because you have to figure out what is the path, what is your spirit trying to really legitimately guide you on, where you can make those moves. Because if you're sitting around and you're just trying to get into feel good emotion, right, inside your body, this feeling, this feeling pleasure, feeling love, feeling joy, feeling happiness, feeling bliss, as though it already is. And then all of a sudden you start to doubt, and you start to feel icky. And I've been trying to really preach on the fact that your feelings are your GPS. Well, the feelings are really that light shining in on the monster. When you have negative feelings, then you know that the monster is present, okay? You know that you have transitioned from thinking positively to thinking negatively. It is really that simple. So here's the thing. The other day I was talking about that sometimes we really get caught up in, we think that we are thinking about and feeling positive about our goals, dreams, and desires, right? But so often, 90% of the time, we are trying to, we're focused in on thinking about those goals, but we're thinking about not having them instead of having them. and that's going to cause a negative sensation in our body. Okay, so there's the GPS for it. That's also the monster at work right there. The monster has you thinking negatively, has you thinking, I don't have the money that I want. I don't have the house that I want. I don't have the relationship that I want. My kids are acting the way I want them to. I don't have the job that I want. I don't have, the career path that I want. I don't have the health that I want. My body doesn't look the way I want. Do you notice that all of these are I don't have? So what is God the universe hearing here? God the universe is hearing I don't have. So if you were saying I don't have, which the monster has you going, well, I'm going to just be a realist about this, and this is the fact, I don't have this, and how am I supposed to, really have it if I don't know, what I have and what I don't have? The monster brings up this, and the universe is hearing I don't have, so the universe is giving me more of I don't have. So I'm going to use an example of, if you get up in the morning and the first thing you do is go to your computer and check the bank account. And, you've got your bills that pop up in your email. Let's just say you just check your email. My bank account goes to an email. So I get my morning statement every single morning. I don't look at it every single morning. I don't look at it in the morning at all. But if you go to your bank account every single morning and you look at what your bank and you follow it up, and there's your power bill, and there's your credit card bill, and there's your this bill, and that bill, and the notice on this, and the notice on that, right? And these are all in your email. And they're like, oh, your statement's ready, statement ready to pay money, statement ready to lose money, statement ready to be in, the state of you putting out money towards something, these bills, these debts. And what happens to you? And your bank account probably is not what you wanted to say. So there you are, you're sitting there and you're looking at your bank statement that morning. You're like, oh, man, at the end of this paycheck, I'm going to have $300 left, $600 left, $1,200 left, whatever that number is, right? And you're like, man, I really wanted to save, I really wanted to do this, I really wanted to do that. There's just not enough money to do it. Or you worship, you open up your bank statement and you see that something went through that you forgot about, or something was higher than what you anticipated, or what have you, and it throws you into this death. Okay, but then you turn around and you're like, all right, I'm going to go and I'm going to focus in on what I want. Okay, I'm going to focus in on what I want. And you sit there and you're listening to something positive, and maybe you're listening to me right now, and you're listening to something positive, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and you're trying to, but in the back of your mind you're going, I only have $300, and after everything gets paid after this paycheck, I only have that $300, and that's it. After that, that's it. There's nothing else. There's just nothing else. I don't have more. I don't have more. How is that thinking ever going to get you to having more? How is that thinking ever going to get you to a state of pleasure, a state of joy, a state of happiness, bliss? How is that ever going to really get you into creation mode? All it's doing is it's the monster coming out, and it's causing you to have anxiety, worry, stress, fear, which is actually the root of all of that. The root of all of that is fear, not love. And the monster got you to get up in the morning, or even before you get out of bed. Like I'm always telling everybody, like before your feet touch the ground, don't look at your phones, don't look at your iPads, don't look at anything electronic. Say a prayer of gratitude. Say a prayer of gratitude for the opportunities that are coming into your day. Just take 30 seconds and just say this prayer of gratitude. Say, Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for the opportunities that you are bringing into today. Thank you for the people, the places, the experiences that you are going to gift me with, that you are going to bless me with today. Thank you for the abundance that you're putting into my life today. Let those things come into your psyche, into your being, into your feeling before your feet hit the ground. Not your freaking telephone with your email popping up telling you that you're only going to have $300 left before at the end of this next paycheck. Really, truly. A little subtle shift can do so much to help you call in the life that you want. It really, really can, because you're starting your day in positivity. You're starting today in a state of higher consciousness, in a state of love and gratitude versus fear and worry and stress. Okay? So remember that your life becomes what your dominant thoughts and feelings are. And dominant meaning that what you focus on, what you are doing the most of, is what you will get in your life. There is a lenience. We all have negative thoughts. Of course, things don't just like that, thank goodness. But they do have great force when we apply a lot to it. So let me tell you this. Negative thoughts, the monster's trick is that the monster takes all these negative thoughts and piles them up, and I wish that I had like a ball here, but I don't. 4 boys in the house and I don't have a ball close to me. That's weird. But you know, the monster takes all these negative thoughts and creates this like negative black gray ball. Okay, and it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. This ball grows and grows and grows, and it might start out really, really small, but it starts to grow, and it gains mass and size, and it gets bigger and 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 bigger. And before we know it, we are the big negative gray ball, because we've had the last 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, whatever years of negative proof to show us that life is negative. And the reason why life is negative is because we are applying focus on the negative and not on the positive. We are applying focus there. But the more we apply focus on the negative, the more we are creating this negative ball of resistance to our dreams. Okay? And worry truly is just an action plan, goals towards negative goals. That's it. Worry just helps set the stage for negative goals to form. Okay? So it is this ball of negativity that we have in us, around us. It's probably some form of that we have to become aware of. But as long as we're not aware of it, and this is where sometimes you'll see people that can make really quick changes, and they can start drawing things into their life really easily. And it's like, why does that work for him or her, but it's not working for me? It's working for him or her because their negative ball is smaller. Okay, so they don't have as much to overcome. Every one of us has a negative ball. How big, how dense our ball is dependent on our life, our thoughts, our feelings, and our focus on basically destroying that ball. Okay, so you have to figure out how to destroy the ball. And before I get off air in the next few minutes, I will make sure to give you a couple of tips on that. Those little things that I have learned through spiritual study and practice. Okay. So, but that negative ball, and so if you were finding great resistance in not being able to consistently think positive things, feel positive, or things just aren't coming in, and you feel like, I go and I do this, but this more negativity comes to me, that's because you are setting into action the actions, the physical actions of doing, but you are not 100% on board with your thinking and feeling, and you're not consciously aware, and I was talking about conscious competence the other day and unconscious competence, and how we all are moving towards a state of unconscious competence the more we apply our focus on doing what we really need to do internally, right? But much like the child who can't tie their shoelace and doesn't know that they don't know how to tie their shoelace, a lot of us are in that boat where we don't even know what we don't know, and we're not aware of it, which makes it very, very hard. So you have to apply the awareness to your negative ball and start to see it first. Okay, the first step is the awareness that you have a negative ball. The second step is the awareness of how big and dense that negative ball is. And the third part of that is that you have to go, oh wow, I'm really messing up here, and I'm really missing the boat on a lot of these thoughts. I'm only applying the actions. I'm not actually thinking and feeling 100% into this with certainty, with love, to move myself through it. And then the next step is that when negative stuff comes at us, even when we're being really positive, realize that it is the universe, is God's way of saying that it is just that next step. It's taking you to that next step. So let's say you really, really you hate your job and you really, really want a pay raise. Okay? So you really, really, really want a pay raise. And you're like, I really want to make more money. I really want to make more money. I really want to make more money. Really, really, really want to make more money. Okay? And then a week later, you lose your job. The universe heard, I really want to make more money. So the universe is like, well, if you're going to make more money, then we got to get you in alignment to the job that's going to make you more money. Okay? So it's moving you into position for that job to make you more money. It's not trying to destroy your life. And what is happening there is that you're now being taken out of this position, and now doorways are going to open up to you for this position of making more money to come in, so that you can have exactly what you're saying that you want. Okay? Exactly what you're saying that you want. So every single negative thing, if approached positively and seen quickly on the front side, as though it is a positive thing, shifting you, moving you towards your dreams and goals, then it will move you towards your dreams and goals. It is in those moments that you can create such a strong belief and really, really show your certainty that you know that your dreams and desires are right there, just 2 steps in front of you, and that you can have them come to you in such speed. It'll come in so quickly if you overcome this negative ball, that it's going to be there as well, because that negative ball is going to go, oh, I wanted this, and this happened, and then I lost my job, and now I'm never going to have it. You know, for whatever reason, I'm the most unlucky person on the planet. God doesn't, I'm just undeserving. This stuff doesn't work. And I can tell you what, the law of attraction does work. It works 24/7 every single day with every single one of us. It is working. The only thing is that we are unconscious typically of it working. So it is working with our thoughts and our feelings all the time. There's not one person on this planet that it's not working for. The difference between hopefully you, me, and the people out there that are still unconscious is that we are trying to practice consciousness towards it, so that we can actually consciously create what we want versus unconsciously create what we don't want, and occasionally unconsciously create what we want. Okay, that's it. The law of attraction, it works 24/7. So it's just a matter of consciousness or unconscious creation here. But that ball, when you're really working into it, what you're wanting to do is you need to apply attention to the fact that you have a ball and look at those negative things in the most positive way that you can. Like, you know, I always, stuff happens. Like yesterday, I was talking about my daughter. She, over the last 2-3 weeks, she had a whole bunch of shit happen. She had issues in her relationship of 6 years happen. She had issues with her apartment, issues with her car, issues with her roommate, issues with, she was in between jobs and she was trying to figure out what she wanted to do. She was getting lots of job offers, but nothing was feeling right to her. And it was just like issue. And it was really quite a negative situation that she was in. And on the beginning, so she started panicking a little bit, and then she was like, no. She came in, we having a glass of wine, and she's like, no, this is all working out for the best. I know it's working out for the best. I know that my right job is out there. And then the next morning she woke up and she's like, fuck it. I'm moving to Maui because that's what I really want to do. I said that I wanted to move to Maui for like the last 5 years. I came back to get my man. I got my man to go with me now, and I'm going. This is the right time to go. So in the midst of this like seemingly big ass monster that was sitting in front of her, she looked it in the face and she said, I dare you to come after me. I'm going after my dreams. I'm going after my dreams. I'm going after my feel good. I'm going after my pleasure. I'm following my desire. And then within 2 weeks, sold her car for more than what she asked for it, found her dog a home, got her apartment when she was under lease on a new, out from underneath the lease, got the lease covered, had just the right amount of money come in, got a plane ticket, got everything squared away, and landed in Hawaii and got a job within 24 hours, making like 40,000 a year. So, and then got offered another job yesterday for something else. So, that right there, and I love her story right now because she really did have so much shit that she could have focused on. She had so much shit that she could have focused on. And she had all this different stuff, like everything was coming to her. And she just kept looking at anything negative in conversations, in events that were taking place. She's just like, this is all good because I need to clear out all this stuff. I need to clear out this baggage. I need to get rid of all of this. I've got to be clear when I move forward. And she just kept clearing and clearing and clearing. So she had some nasty ass communications going with people in her life. She had to deal with a whole bunch of different stressful situations, but she kept the focus on that she knew what she wanted and that she knew that every single one of those things was taking her a step closer to exactly what she wanted, her desire, her goal. And it doesn't mean that it's over yet because now she's sitting in Maui, yes, on the beach, making us all jealous, which is great. Bless her, because what she's doing is now she's going to have other struggles, but as long as she keeps that mindset, everything's going to materialize for her so quick. And she's going to then, in 90 days, have exactly what she wants, as long as she keeps her focus positive and on the fact that everything is moving her towards her desired life, her desired manifestation of what she wants. That is what can happen for any of us. That's what can happen for you. And it can happen today. It can happen in the next 30 minutes. It can happen in the next 3 days, in the next 30 days. You can manifest your dreams, your desires like that if you apply consciousness to what you want and really using your feelings as a GPS system to it. So when you have those negative feelings, you are thinking negative thoughts about what you want. You're not in alignment with what you want because you're thinking negatively about it. You're thinking about not having it, is what I mean. If you are feeling positive, then you are thinking about having it already. Okay? So if you feel depressed, anxiety, stress, worry, fear, you are thinking about what you want, then you are thinking about not having it. You're going to have to shun it, shun the monster, shun that monster, turn away from it, step away from it, and really focus in on that you do have it. Get yourself back to that happy space. Plug in a song, take a walk, get some sunshine, call a friend that makes you laugh, something like that, okay? You have to do those things. So I have some notes over here. So let me see, identifying, obviously, like what I was just talking about, right? Identifying those things. So you have to identify it because fear, worry, stress, these all cause reactive triggers, you could say. They are reactive triggers, and they cause these different actions to happen. So they cause us to fight or flight, right? So we're either going to run away or we're going to want to battle something. And what you have to do is you have to make the choice. Like what I was sharing this thing about my daughter, she made that choice in the midst of everything to stand up to the monster and to face her fear. And that is the choice that you have to make every single time. You have to look at where is fear coming up and walk towards it. Now, fear is different than danger. Okay, fear is different than danger. Danger is if you're standing in front of a train and the train's coming at you. Don't stand there and expect for the train to stop. It's not going to happen. But if you are fearful of a certain situation, like a move that is happening or that you really need to make or something, or a transition of some sort, these are the things that you need to stand in because it's not dangerous. It is just fear. It is that monster coming up and trying to make you feel like it's dangerous, but it's not really dangerous. You have to stand there and look the monster in the eyes and say, no, I'm still going to go after what I want. I see you, but get out of my way, type of thing. And then the next thing is that you'll find that when you confront the monster in this way, that it will start to really, it's going to lose its power over you a great deal, because the last thing that the monster ever expects you to do is actually confront it. It expects you to run from it. And when you run in fear, it is, think of the horror movies out there. The people always run from the monsters, right? And then the monsters come and take them, and they're scared and they're terrified, right? They're hiding in the dark closet, and they're breathing heavier, and then they have to cough, or they kick something over, something alerting the monster as to where they're at, the bad guy as to where they're at. And that is the fear that is making it happen. If they had turned and confronted the monster, it could potentially be a lot different. And sometimes maybe that confrontation is to just see that there's a path right next to the monster that you need to take, and that you have to just have faith in the universe and God and yourself, that you can walk past the monster unscathed by it, unhurt by it, and just keep moving forward. Okay? So you really have to see where your fight or flight is at, because every time you take flight, that is a resistance to your dreams and your goals. Okay? And fighting is not going in and fighting. Fighting is just standing in the presence of and not letting it cause fight. Okay? So saying, no, damn it. I'm going to go and get my goals. And you don't scare me. And you don't scare me, because you're not dangerous. This is just the monster in my heart that is trying to come back. Okay? And then the next thing to that is that, there's going to be a whole bunch of feelings that are uncomfortable. Feelings that are uncomfortable that cause, everywhere. You're going to feel anxiety. You're going to feel all this stuff pop up, and it's going to cause you a lot of different issues, and it's going to get very, very uncomfortable. Okay. So you might feel your heart racing. You might have total chaos going off in your head, like all of a sudden, you've got the whole state of Texas in your head, and everybody's yelling at you, and you're just like that. And these are all these thoughts of worry, fear, and pay attention really quick. Like, what am I thinking all of a sudden? And oh my gosh, look at all these negative thoughts that have come up. And this is all trying to cause discomfort in your body. You may all of a sudden, when you face that monster, your stomach might start gurgling. You might feel stress in your legs. You might feel stress in your neck, in your shoulders. You might get a headache, sore throat, something, right? And it'll just pop out of nowhere. This is all your body showing you the discomfort that you are having towards facing the monster. But as you gradually tolerate these feelings and push into them, the more you push into them, there will be this threshold that you will get to, and then all of a sudden they will start to subside, because you will be stronger than them. Okay? And you're going to just want to push through those feelings. And again, remember, we're talking about the fear of making those moves. We're not talking about pushing through something that is dangerous here, okay? And make sure that that is understood. I'm not talking about pushing through dangerous stuff. But what I am talking about is acknowledging that the pain is, that this pain, this suffering, as we might perceive it, is actually going to help eliminate the reactive trait of fleeing. Okay, and that's what we're talking about, is the elimination of the reactive trait of fleeing. And that's where you have to get to, is see it and then stand strong in that negative charge and be able to push through, and then they'll get quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker, quicker and quicker. And I always tell people, the things that used to take me 2 years to process through now take me 20 minutes. The things that used to take me 20 minutes, I can pretty much process through in 1 to 2 minutes or quicker, because now I start to see those. I've trained myself into certain things where I go, ooh, that's that charge, and I recognize it as my body alerting me to something that I am fearful of, and that I need to stand in faith in and push through. Okay, so really just letting that be there. Okay. And then the last thing is to really confront the fear in uncertainty, in trust, in and knowing that your freedom, knowing that freedom and happiness is right there, that it is love based, but it is standing in that suffering, that pain sometimes, with that fear of moving forward, of doing something that makes you extremely uncomfortable, and that taking that step in that path on that path for you, and actually moving through it, feeling the fear, feeling the worry, feeling the anxiety, shining that light on it, resisting the urge to run, and just focusing back in on, I have certainty, I have love. Everything always turns out. Everything always turns out. Everything, even some of the most negative things, can be positive steps towards getting me exactly where I want to be. Exactly where I want to be. Like losing my job when I'm really wanting to make more money, right? And when you stand in certainty and trust, you are creating more certainty and trust. You are now surrendering to the universe, to God, and you're saying, I know that you have my greatest and highest good always in your view. And I don't know everything. And then come back to your feelings, your true feelings, not what you think you're feeling, but what you're really feeling. And remember that if you are having negative feelings towards something, you are focusing in on what you want as though you don't have it, and focusing in on not having what you want. And if you have positive feelings around when you think about what you want, if you have positive feelings about it, you're thinking about having it now in the moment, and that is the power. That's the power button, okay? That's where you want to be. You want to keep yourself in that space. But the instant you start to feel resistance to it, which means that you have a negative thought pop up, and you're not aware of the negative thought because you're not conscious yet to those negative thoughts, more than likely. So you're going to feel it as a negative charge in your body somehow. So realize that really is the key though. So if you practice, I promise you this, if you practice those 3 little things that I just went through, then the monster is going to still be there. You're not getting rid of the monster. As long as you're breathing, the monster's going to be there. And you've got to learn how to feed it some breadcrumbs every now and then so that it doesn't attack your ass somewhere down the path when you don't see it. But you will definitely gain momentum past it, and you will pull into your life everything that you want. But you have to recognize that your monster is there, and you have to be willing to face it. Okay? So, not a whole lot of comments coming in this morning. You guys are probably still not awake and stuff when I see people coming on and off. But if you found this beneficial, please share it. Please pop questions, comments off to me later in private on the video here, or what have you. I love hearing from you guys. And you can catch me tomorrow, again at 6 a.m. for I don't know whatever God wants me to say. That's what I get out of bed with. Lord, speak through me. Tell me what to talk on today. So, you can also find me at www.kendalwilliams.com with a whole bunch of other stuff too. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye.